Hey y'all, back again. It's Shanty. So, back to being 30 something and tired. I said I was going to get back to this, so let's run it back down. Let's go down the list. So, I am a chiropractor. Initially, when I decided, I'm going to do this chiropractic thing, I want to be a doctor, but not necessarily a doctor, more so on the allopathic side, but I'm looking at the holistic way of looking at the body and helping people in that regard, looking at the whole person, getting to the source of the issue instead of just treating symptoms. I'm like, this is great. And I have to say, yes, chiropractic, it is a beautiful profession. It is a beautiful service. I will always forever be a chiropractic patient, and I will most likely always keep my license current for as long as I'm allowed. So all of that being said, the way that I got into chiropractic, like I mentioned, I work for a company. It's a franchise, and we're working 9 to 10 hour days, and we're closing at 7 p.m., which is convenient for the customer, for the patient. But when it comes to the doctor and having a life, it's not so convenient for us. So I have gone in between a couple different locations, same franchise, but different locations, and they all do things slightly different, but they still try to adhere to. Okay, so slight intermission there. As I was saying though, they all do things slightly different, but they still try to adhere to corporate guidelines. And with that, great, fine, dandy. But when it comes to the chiropractor and what the chiropractor needs, like one company I worked for told me, and all of us, the entire staff, front desk people included, we were not deserving of a break in the day, basically a lunch break. You know, most people get an hour, 30 minutes. However, typically the standard at the company I've been at is 45 minutes. Some of those locations, though, would allow for roughly an hour if you had 2 doctors working on staff throughout that day. So it allowed us to alternate. So, of course, that was wonderful. But yeah, one specific location told us, you have to earn. It is a privilege to have a break, a lunch break. And mind you, I understand with the losses, a lot of these states are at will states, so they can just kind of fire you with no real cause just because they want to. And they are also not exactly required to give you a lunch break, which I think is counterintuitive because most people understand if you want your employees to perform at a high level and at their best, they perform best when they are well taken care of. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to take care of your people? Especially when the job of a chiropractor is so physically demanding. I am working out pretty much several hours that entire day. And mind you, there are downtimes because if you're in a walk-in clinic, as I am, then there's going to be times where maybe there's not anybody really in there. But lately, it's been fairly busy. So it has not been much downtime. I kind of have to run and find times for me to go take a bathroom break. Mind you, where I am currently, we do get that lunch break. It is the 45 minutes. But even still, sometimes we have some patients come in just before we're about to close from lunch, literally a minute or two, sometimes 5 minutes before we're about to close. But usually the most frustrating are the ones that come in 1 to 2 minutes before we're closing. And it's like, you know that I only get 45 minutes. And for me, I can't just run and go get something and be okay. I kind of bring my lunch because I don't necessarily eat everything. I have certain dietary restrictions, so I kind of have to run home. Luckily, home is not far away from work, but even though it's still a 5-minute drive there, 5-minute drive back, that really cuts into my break time. I have to rush there, heat it up, eat it a bit, make sure it's still packed up, take the rest with me back to work, and try to eat in between those scheduled appointment times or those existing patient visit appointments as they're coming in. So that's rough. It's been rough. It's been hard. I don't know how I've gotten through it. I know it has been nothing but the Holy Spirit keeping me, but I'm absolutely tired of it. At this point, I'm like, I need a routine, a schedule that is going to work for me and the life that I wish to have and build. Again, like I mentioned in the first video, I want to have a family. If I'm talking about getting married soon, how am I supposed to be there for my husband and the children, the family that we are going to build if I am at work until 7 o'clock at night? And then even otherwise, forget that part. If I am so physically exhausted and mentally, socially exhausted, because mind you, when I get off work, oftentimes I do not want to speak or look at anybody, hear anything for at least 1 to 2 hours once I'm out of there, because I'm just so overstimulated and I just need some balance in my life. So work from home is where I'm shifting to. And we'll talk more about that also. But y'all, I say all that to say me having to go from one location that was saying, oh, you have to earn a lunch break. And then they decided, oh, well, what we'll do is we'll build 2 15-minute breaks in your day, one around the typical lunch hour, maybe like 1 o'clock-ish. And then the next one would be, I don't know, about 2 hours before we close, so about 5 o'clock. How is anybody supposed to really breathe, go to the bathroom, eat, drink water, walk around outside of it if you need to do that, get some fresh air? And the clinics that we're working in, we do not have windows where we can just see right outside at what's going on. And that in itself is a mind, like it just warps your mind after being in there several days of the week. Yeah. But, you know, I've been taking it in stride, praying on it, and I made my decision. I'm making my transition ASAP. I'm trying to think of other things. Oh, the very first location, when I came out of school, they were great. They trained me fairly well, but what I did not understand, you know, a lot of times when these places put out their job postings, they're putting them out because now right at the last second, they know that they're about to lose some of their key team players. And so they're looking for people to replace them ASAP. And it's like, why not always just be hiring just intuitively, just kind of looking all the time, making sure that you have coverage docs, fill-in docs, part-time docs, so that you can prevent situations like this. But there were 2 doctors on that team when I joined. One was already out for maternity leave, I would suppose. I know she was about to have her baby. And the husband was still on the team, and he was pretty much on his way out of the door, which I'm sure they were well aware. And so I'm joining the team. I'm learning things. And before I know it, I don't even know if it was a full month of me being on the team, but this man leaves. So now it's just myself and that lead doctor. And I'm like, okay, they said that I would be in training. Let's see, I started there officially December 1st of that particular year. And they said I would have training consistent to about February. That was not the case. That was not the case. And to make matters worse, of me just kind of being thrown into the lion's den with little to no training, real grasp. But I mean, luckily, I was able to kind of watch and learn and just kind of make it work for me. Let's see, at the end of that December, around the Christmas holiday, that was kind of the top of the pandemic time, and I was sick with, you know what? I tested positive there. I was over it. I was like, what? I felt the worst I had ever felt, ever being sick. And I think they allowed me to be out. Well, the holiday helped because I was just able to kind of lie down in a room. I was with family, but I got to just kind of be sequestered away. But I still did not feel very well a couple days after. And they were wanting me to return back to work pretty much ASAP. And I was like, this just does not work for me. This is horrible. This is horrible. And I'm like, I need to have the kind of flexibility where I can have a couple sick days, at least 3 or 4, and be okay. And not have to worry about losing my job. Not have to worry about, am I going to get paid or not? It was just a mess, such a mess. And also that same first year being with this company at this same location I'm mentioning, with the loss of those 2 doctors on the team, I ended up working pretty much every single weekend. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's see, as a doctor fresh out of school, I think I was 27, 26 coming out, but I had my birthday that November. So I'm like, hey, I'm young, I'm youthful, I'm single. What are we talking about? I want to be outside. I'm trying to live my life and have fun. Not saying that, oh, I just don't want to be here. I don't want to work, but I gotta have my time to decompress, regroup, take a little weekend trip here and there, a little staycation. There was not much of that happening, and I was miserable. And also, not to mention, before I even graduated, I was already pretty well aware that, friends, I'm not going to be practicing for 5 years minimum, but I was giving myself about 10 years max. And so here we are. Today, we are pretty much going into the 5th year, and I am already here making my transition. Now, I do plan to still do some things where I can make chiropractic work for me, because I understand that I have a very special skill set. I understand that a lot of the patients that I see are like, oh my gosh, you're the best. If you leave, oh my gosh, y'all, my storage, excuse me. My storage on my phone, I keep getting cut off because my storage it's just really not existent. But let me hurry this up. So we don't have to go through this but as I was saying, I have a lot of patients that tell me, you have a gift. You are the best one here. Blase, blase. And I'm truly honored and humbled every time that I hear it. But I'm over it. I am wanting to really take a step back, take a back seat. As much as I have to step into the role of being the boss, which the doctor kind of is the boss, even though I don't own the clinic, I kind of help run the team. I have to be a team player, but also kind of run the team, let them know what I need so that we can have a steady flow, especially with walk-in patients coming in and out, whether that's a new patient, an existing patient or member, etc. So yeah, as much as I detest being the boss, I always find myself there. And I understand maybe I'm called to being a boss to a degree. I mean, hey, me sitting here on YouTube, this is me doing some work for myself. Like I'm stepping out on faith. This is a new thing, but I've always enjoyed being vulnerable, sharing my story. So this is what I'm here to do with you guys. And hopefully you guys will come on the journey with me. And I will continue showing what I'll be moving towards as I'm making this transition away from chiropractic. It's not forever. It's just temporary, as I'm just trying to understand what I want to do more so within chiropractic, because I have aspirations to go ahead and get doula training. Because I actually got into chiropractic because I wanted to look into being a pediatric chiropractor, more so perinatal care, things of that nature, basically more so. Not necessarily adults, and adults are primarily all that I've seen. And mind you, again, being at a walk-in clinic, a lot of the benefits, you really get your hands dirty. You really get your feet wet. So I have a lot of tactile skills, nice static palpation skills there, seeing what muscle tone is like, understanding where the movement is restricted within people's joints. And it's allowed for me to kind of figure out some of the best ways, angles, and vectors to adjust that bone back into place and restore that function to the nervous system and allow that body to begin to heal from the inside out. That's like, as you can see, I speak with a bit of passion about it, but burnout is the key here, okay? Ah. When you have been doing this at such a high level, as I have, day in and day out, it's just, whew, you just need a break. And again, not knocking chiropractic at all, because I do not regret becoming a chiropractor. But if I knew then what I know now, I don't know if I would have gone to chiropractic school, but I am grateful for the nutrition I've learned, the ways of allowing your body to rid itself of interferences. So again, it can heal from the inside out by way of getting adjusted, by way of changing your lifestyle, making sure that you're getting daily movement, making sure that you're paying attention to what you're putting into your body, you're hydrating well, all of those things, discovering different herbs and such that help to cleanse the blood and the body and your lungs. It's just so much that I was able to learn and it exposed me to. And I realized when I came to see about the chiropractic school that I attended, it showed me that it really aligned with the way that I want to live my life holistically. And before that, I was looking to be a pharmacist. That was literally the plan A that I had arrived to, because before that, I was like, oh, a pediatrician, oh, a nurse, dermatology, dentistry. Finally ended up landing at pharmacy, only to do the complete opposite. Chiropractic, nothing to do with medicine at all. Although we did take courses on learning about the different medications through toxicology. I think we learned a bit of how medicines affect the body through pathology as well. Just so much. I could really go on, but I feel like you guys get the picture. And I can always dive in more on other videos, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm 30 something and I'm tired and I'm pivoting. So 30 something and pivoting, that's where we are. And I'm so happy about it. I feel so at peace. This is the happiest and the most at peace and sure that I felt so many great things coming into my life. You know, this is 2026. And just so many big things happen right at the brink of 11:59, 12 a.m. And I'm just so grateful. Just hallelujah all around. But y'all, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to dive into deeper as it pertains to chiropractic and, of course, what I'm transitioning into. But I will definitely be doing videos about where this transition is taking me to. So this has been Shanty Live. See you guys on the next one.